lazima useme maswali.
Oh, Kenya. Joey. Hiyo ni job yako ndakuachia hapo. So karibu bana. Yeah, it's been a while, you know. It's been 3 years on the Wicked Edition, isn't it?
Yes. We are clocking the 3rd year.
So Wicked Edition ilianza vipi? What was your concept at the time before you started?
The concept when I started out, it was I really wanted to do comedy. I wanted to do a show, and my idea was a show was very different from what the Wicked Edition is. It's evolved over time. At the first time, there was a show called Offside on TV. I used to write for the show. Then, when they cancelled the show, Larry talked about Larry Mando Akaniambia, hey Mazi, you know what? You need to have a show on TV. Unaweza kuwa na show. And then Emmanuel Juma followed up. Akasema, you need to have a show on TV. Why don't you continue with the other show? But then your idea ilikuwa imeshamaliza. It was overtaken by time. So I used to crash at Larry's place over weekends after Friday to get my boys. He used to show me varieties. Hizo akina Daily Show, Colbert, Letterman. Hizo
my late night.
Yes, the magazine shows. So I really loved kuna ingine ilikuwa The Weekend Update. Okay. It was really in line na my format of writing how I grew over time. So I wanted to do a different style. Then when initially it was just to be about jokes. Then Linus Kaikai gave us a challenge. Okay, your first episode is supposed to be, you want to do a first episode on the police. Why not talk to the police spokesman, have him come on the show? I think it would be a great idea. And then we started channels, and all of a sudden we did it, and it worked. And it came, as in over time it evolves, it keeps changing. Thomas said, when you look at it, we moved from doing one food story focus on the show. We can do current affairs, we can focus on the subject and also do the interview, and we brought back in the tweet.
Oh, okay, yeah. So how long before, how many episodes did you shoot for the pilot before you guys aired?
The pilot, we did the pilot. It started off as a segment of the trend. We did 2. And then for the pilot, we shot the pilot once. The pilot for the show. We shot the pilot once. The next was the actual episode. The show, actual episode 1.
Okay. You said you were writing for Otos on the Offside.
Yes. I used to write on Offside, and that's how I got that was my first gig with Nation. I came in as a creative writer behind the scenes, and that's where Kenyan Jew was born. Okay. I was behind the scenes, and the job was so demanding, but I also needed some place to let out your comedy. So I was just behind the scenes, and that's, like I say, Kenyan Jew.
Okay, so kwa Kenyan Jew, because there had to be a genesis. What were you thinking about the character Kinyanjui? Like, how did you come up with it?
It has a very funny source. One day, my cousin failed in her exams in the high school. So kumbe my dad is actually one of the funniest people I've ever met. My dad alikuwa amekutana na diary yake, akasoma boyfriends wake wote, alafu akatulia. So my mom amekaa huko amezusha how your grades are zinashuka and stuff. My dad alikuwa huko ndani ya nyumba ametulia tu. Alafu his response zinakuwa moja tu, but it's like the punchline of the whole story. So akasema ama ni Kinyanjui. Sasa in our heads Kinyanjui is an old guy. So Kinyanjui anaweza kuwa anafanya nini na what would a young guy from 3 be doing with a boyfriend mwenye anaitwa Kinyanjui? Unajua Kinyanjui is an old, ni kama kuniambia sahi getting an old guy called Dennis. I don't think there's a 40-year-old and above anaitwa Dennis. Okay. So Kinyanjui to us was an old character. So that image stuck in my mind. So when I first was given the challenge to do something, I challenged myself to do your character Kinyanjui. I had the voice. I used to do this character in my stand-ups before. We used to perform in clubs. I've performed in, I think, almost all, yes, all except one. stand-up platform in Kenya, from as in the history of comedy from 2010. So in my stand-up characters, I had this impersonation, so that's what I channeled to be Kenyan Jew the reporter.
Okay, so and he's very, I don't know, he has this funny take on events, if I could say so.
It makes me laugh too. Sometimes when I do something on Kenyan Jew, then I get people sharing the clips and people quoting some of the comments we say. Like one time I got into the office on Monday. Offside used to air on Saturday. Then one of the reporters akaanza kucheka kabisa. So apparently it was a story about Lamu. They had donkeys, a donkey race.
Yeah.
So one guy was left behind na punda yake ilikuwa imekataa kwenda. So Kenyan Jew's impression ilikuwa hiyo punda yake ilikataa kwenda juu ilikuwa na cutout. So I think the guy was so that as in that day I don't think he even worked, and he laughed the whole time. So I hadn't seen it like that, but when he said it, now I started laughing.
Okay, so but what about the guests that have come through? Najua mko na watu wengi sana, and a lot of them have been like super crazy characters. Nakumbuka the guy who I guess used to be a robber, akaenda mpaka akajificha kwa coffin. There's the pastor wa Mangumi.
One of the shows we've received so much feedback, the grave robber. Chris Kirubi also came, and Chris Kirubi came on the show for support. Like, hey, Niaje, this is a young guy doing stuff. In fact, he to his time, as in we had the interview for a specified time, he added an hour to that, the Kupiga story with our audience members, kuchanua say about investments and stuff after that. And at first, one of my most interesting encounters, one of our earlier episodes, I've been calling the guests who are called to, and it's been a different experience moving forward. Within our first episode, I called this guy. We agreed to meet at a hotel for a brief on what the show is about, because it's only one episode that had aired at that time.
Yeah.
So I explained to the guy, alafu the guy just walks up, akaenda, akiongea na simu. So I didn't know whether that's a confirmation or not, and then he came for the interview. Can you imagine how awkward that was? And that was in 2016. Moving forward, you get people who want to be on the show, and the interesting experience was I once went to Parliament. Unapata kuna wasi wao wanataka come for show, like, hey, Niaje, we really want to be on the show.
MPs.
Yes.
Okay. Wow, that's some growth. You did the Churchill show. Umesema you've done like a lot of stand-up, platforms.
I've performed on most of the comedy platforms in Kenya. For Churchill, I've been there. I think I've been there a few times, but I've always been at Hudstons. Most of the Hudstons plays is Ikikua, the intermission between the breaks between the scenes. Yes, the intermissions between the scenes. That's why I do stand up. That's where I get to hone my skills mostly. But I've been on Churchill. I used to be on Kenya Corner, and before that, I used to perform in clubs in town.
Okay. I also noticed that you have writers for your show, and one of them is actually from Churchill show.
I have creatives when you're tunasaidia na kutafuta ideas, but we're also looking for. I'm actually scouting for people who can write. I wish to get one writers who are deeply here. Hey, that do that show on another level. Najua show kama a show like the Daily Show, they have like a team of like 40 writers. Sisi hapa. I'm actually encouraging creatives out there wase wanze to practice writing, do research, meaning there is a serious shortage of writers. Kama like right now, usually I work with a friend, whose friend anaitwa Kwach. Tita stops by sometime. Used to work with other comedians, like we gave Nasra a gig, Nasra comedian from Churchill show, and so I've worked with a few people, but you too, like, and also I used to, there's a team we started with, the edition. We have some colleagues who had strings. Kinatosha, some of the directors were going to Akinalao, but they all ventured into other things.
Oh, okay. Yes. So tuseme pia to some extent wewe ni mdosi wa mtu.
Hapana, mimi si mdosi wa mtu bado.
So una watu wana you're working as a team with or under?
Team, the real team ainanga udesi.
Okay. So you just relate with them like okay. Sawa. So kidogo deviate from your profession. Tuende kidogo to something personal. Of late, umekuwa ukileta a lot of TBT photos. Na umekuwa umeparara mbaya sana. Why did you feel like this was something you wanted to share with, I guess, your audience?
I used to hate that photo. That's a photo, hiyo ni reflection ya my childhood kabisa. And you see,
where was this at?
This was in Embu, and that photo was taken by kulikuwa na jamaa wa Plan International. They used to come take photos for sponsors, alafu wanapelekea ma sponsors majuu. As in, mimi ni logo ya Africa. Na wale watoto wanakuanga ama brand ambassador ya umaskini kutoka nikio, as a kid I was a brand ambassador of poverty, kama that picture. And the reason why I bring that such a photo up, they inspire me to see such a picture. I looked at that picture, for example, hiyo yenye nimeparara. I was 6 years old. My daughter is 6 years old now. I discovered she would never, as in a 6-year-old who looks like my daughter would never play with me back then. Alafu najiambia maybe that inspires someone pale nje. Cheki ukiona wale watoi wanachezanga kule mtaani and you would never, hauwezi dharau mtoi mwenye anacheza huko because you never know. Kama mimi sahi some people now tuna relate nao on a different level ya wale watu walikuwa nakatazwa kucheza na sisi kwa sababu tulikuwa tunakaa. Sahi they come to me for advice. Okay? So I think that's just it's a lesson to me, and it can inspire. I post it so that other people can get related. Kuna mtu anakaa kama mimi hivyo sahi, hiyo ni reality yake. But then in a few years you never know, they could be the president.
True that. Yeah. And what kind of feedback do you get from your fans, especially when they look at you through these photos?
Of course, inakuanga mostly ni inspiration. Alafu, I think for the Wicked edition, we've had a very good relationship with the audience. We are one of the shows that tumepata, as in the show is growing without negative feedback. As in, unajua, sometimes most of the shows are credited grown mnatukanwa left, right and center. For us, we've had a different experience. People have received our content now where we've different where we've had a difference of opinion and constructive criticism. So I think that's a blessing, by the way.
Okay. Speaking of constructive criticism, kuna kitu ulipewa upato, as they say in Kiswahili, when you posted your lovely miss, and you guys are expecting a baby. Do you know what?
She's here.
Wait, what? Already?
She's here, manzi. Hey, I posted the baby's photo juzi.
Oh, snap. You're in the beta.
Wasa wanasema hakuna kisogo kama yangu, but it needs to be investigated. Wow, that's mean.
Okay, so
kwani what happened to the concept ya kuna nuru gizani? Kwani mtu haiwezi madhati sisi pata.
So ndio kwa kisogo peke yake.
Hii yangu ni kuchomwa na jua.
Okay, so how's it? Because you're also a family man. Unajua parade for a long time you were closed, but then you started, rebuilding your family. Your daughter, how many kids are there now? Like 3 or 2?
2.
Okay, so now you put your family out there. What made you change from being,
It's not like I had. I wasn't that cagey with my family and stuff. Actually, I don't think I've just came out. I think just a select photos. Hey Niaji, I think this is an interesting. Kama the contrast, the juxtapositioning of me and my daughter at the same age. That I couldn't avoid that. And that's the first time I've shown my daughter's face on social media. So no one knows it.
Okay, so na nini, what's this called? Sorry, ulikuwa what's this? As a dad, how is it like? Especially now, it's 2 daughters, uko outnumbered in the house. But how is it being a dad besides Dr. Kimori?
It's fun because our two, they don't care about Dr. Kimori. In fact, I don't know how. Nimejaribu kuwatesa ile kutesa in a good sense. Kutesa like, hey maze. But hata mimi sina hiyo. I don't consider myself as a man. I don't think it's a big deal pia kwa Dr. Kimori. I think na pia it's humbling to get feedback from people. Kama the other day we were at I did a gig. Yeah, the police had an India party, Pangani police.
Okay.
So we were invited by some officers who were friends, and when we went there, we found like while I was like you see sometimes I may disagree, I may make fun of police officers on my show, but I appreciate the work that they do. So when you find the people, I look up to them for to some extent because kuvaa hiyo uniform as any sacrifice and a job. So when you go to such a place and then you find that these people also look up to you in some way, hey, that's humbling. Those are some of the few moments I come and I step out of my skin and look at myself and I admire what I see. But sidhani, I don't have that. We need doctor.
Sasa wewe ni baba mkali ama ni you let them get away with?
Mimi nitaraise watoto na propaganda. Hii era ya DK kwenye beat na nini. Today is disciplined 20-year-olds. I think I need to write a book yenye hizo iko na diagrams za kueleza watu because I think kuwa mkali zaidi. My 6-year-old ameraise hapo anaacha pangu. She's very very disciplined.
Okay. Sasa sorry. Unapenda kupiga mapicha mengi, sijui ni ngoma pale ama ni nini? Like is it kazi yako tu kuzurura majangwani ukitafuta places za kupiga picha ama what's that?
I think ni some of the parts that come with one of my closest friends is the best photographer in the country, Festo. So if we happen to hang out tukienda hizo many times, we take a few shots na Festo abatishangi, so of course most of his pictures are good, so unapatanga. When I decide to post a memory, nakanga kama professional shoot.
Oh, okay. So let's talk about your next show.
15th of February.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to. I've done. I've been on the Wicked edition for so long that most people have not seen me doing stand-up. I used to do hot seat, 1 hour shows, pure stand-up at the Alliance, but we didn't have the muscle to do it on a bigger scale. But now we've partnered with NTV and Heartstrings and Jay Place doing and also KFCB, Dr. Ezekiel Mutua. They refurbished the Nairobi cinema, or it's supposed to be called the Nairobi Film Center. It's a very, very classy facility now. And they gave us a date. So that pure stand-up, and we're doing it. Kidum will be there to give to provide music. So now that's the chance my fans be able to experience the other side of what I do stand-up. But your TV is also limiting kiasi. Stand-up is very big.
How long are you proposing to do the show for? Like
the show will start at 6, we open the gates. 7, Kidum takes the stage, anapiga ngoma, alafu I get on stage at 8.
Okay, 8 mpaka saa ngapi?
Yes.
Oh, at least an hour.
Yes.
So what's the theme around your special, I guess?
So much talk about mazi. The experience ya kupata katoto kampya. This time I wanted to be there from stage 1. Vitu nimeona boss. Wait.
Ulikuwa delivery do mama.
Things to say about gynecologists.
Speaking of which, are you a prude? As in, do you get squeamish when people are talking about matters of sex and sexual reproduction? Because tuliingia hapa na kulikuwa na huyu doctor gynecology. Now first thing ulifanya vile ulisikia tu the word vagina ulishtuka.
Wacha nikwambie. Let me play for you the scenario as it was in my head. Unaingia kwa room yenye watu wengine wamekaa kwa makompyuta wanafanya kazi zao, alafu the next statement unasikia kwa huyu jamaa kwa nyuma ni the vagina is very long. What comes to your mind? The interview is being done by a lady and the man is sitting on the other end. But the man is explaining the vagina to the woman. Una-explainia mtu kitu yake na amekaa anakusikiza vizuri sana, kusikia detail and na the show on her face. that scenario kwa akili yangu, that was a classic. And I'm not scorned. Ama sijui ni mimi as in, actually I think mimi ni vile TV ni limiting kiasi. I'm bold, I talk about everything.
Okay. What will be some of the things like when you say it limits you, I guess, on the kind of topics you can engage? But then what other challenges would you say you're facing as I don't know, in hosting the show, like in coming up with content and stuff like that?
One of the things that I really enjoy about doing the Wicked Edition, and TV has given us a proper creative freedom. Kabisa. We do the show as in over 100 episodes hatujai kuwa na don't do this, don't do that. And another interesting thing, as in, imagine our only challenge is there's time yetu ni less. And that's a complaint we've received from our fans, and the feedback, one of the most feedback we get, the show is too short. But as far as we are concerned, hatujai kuwa censored and stuff. And that's what I enjoy most about doing the Wicked Edition. We say what we want. But also, I have an editorial mind. You see, I was writing. I know what's right and what's not. I know how to package stuff. So that also helps.
Okay. Speaking of which, why wouldn't you have, like, you know how many shows have like extended or like clips that you didn't catch on the show? You can, you can put like on your YouTube and stuff.
We unajua, our timetable, our program is very intensive. Like our week starts on Thursday. But then, so after this show, and we are a very small team. I don't usually give excuses for failures. So we had a plan, for example, to show some of the, air some of the shows that did not make air, and some of the content that we leave behind that does not go on air over December, because we had a very long break, 5 weeks or so. Technical issues, we lost all the content behind the scenes, and that was some of the richest content we ever had. But once bitten, twice shy. We have a better plan this year.
So now you have backup.
Yes.
Okay. What does King Ori like to do when he's not on TV or not doing stand-up? How do you while away your time?
Investigating my children. How much they know. For it. Yes. That's an interesting spot. For it. Kabisa. Getting to know at one point, I would like to know, I compare them with myself. Nataka kujua at what age watajua tabia mbaya ni nini, so that I can handle it there and then. So I'm on, that's my part time.
Okay.
I'm an investigative.
What kind of music does Dr. King Ori enjoy? Musa Juma.
Musa Juma. I'm a Limpopo addict, and I also listen to ngoma za local music.
Okay. Ulituambia kitu hapa tukianza mambo ya DK kwenye beat. I don't know, what's your opinion on that whole incident?
Opinion? There's always two sides to every story. That lady called me before ex-Jandela exposed that thing. As in, I spoke to her on phone. And you see, bado ni mtoi na yangu. Unaget? So, ni sad on very many levels, but then I'm not sure kama I'm a pro enough to comment on such issues, because beyond DK kwenye beat na Hope Kid ni beneficiaries too, maybe, if that's true. If it's true that they did what the lady alleges that they did. Labda wao ni beneficiaries ya abuse zenye udem amepitia from before. And I think I took it different. That's a challenge to me, mazi. Kama parent mwenye ako na madem, niko na stress. As in, I think it's important to create a connection with your children, such that when such things happen, you are able to, as in your children are able to open up to you, so that you can handle them. Do you know that lady's dad is a pastor?
No, I didn't know that.
And sasa ukijipata, I can't talk about her identity, but the fact that her dad is a pastor, unapreachia other flock on how to live their life right, but kwako mtoi wako ako vulnerable, forget. That's a very big lesson to me. Yes.
Yeah, true that. Okay. So going forward, I don't know, Mwaka huu umetupangia nini?
Mwaka huu 15th is a very defining 15th of February of this month. That's the next Friday. But one is a very, very defining moment for this year. We've planned such shows. It's a classic. People should make a point to come and attend. And also, we intend to make the weekend edition bigger and better.
Sawa. Well, you heard it from Nairobi News. This will be your first, right? Your first stand-up special on your own?
On a larger scale, but I've been doing it on the theaters.
Okay. So don't forget on the 15th at, you call, what's the
just behind Kenco. The Nairobi Cinema Hall.
Okay.
Just behind Kenco.
Okay.
You can get your tickets on Kenya Buzz.
Kenya Buzz. How much are the tickets going for?
1,000.
Okay. Are they like VIP or it's just regular?
It's the whole place is a VIP.
So we'll get to experience the new I guess hall on the 15th.
Yes.
Okay, sasa karibu sana. Thank you so much for coming and sharing this with us. Big news, and all that. And yeah, you've been live on Nairobi News on Facebook. Catch you next time. All right. Dr. Kings.